folks, we have a very special interview segment of our show today. We are joined by a very special guest. He is a USF alum where he holds 42 different school records, former player for the XFL Vipers, and most recently lit up the Fan Control Football League as a franchise player for the Beasts. Quinton Flowers, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for having me on here, man. I appreciate you guys.
So I guess we just kick it off. Let's keep it a little bit FCF-centric. That's what you just played in. Which of these spring leagues have you had the most fun with? I got to say, FCF was very fun to watch.
Yes, sir, man. It was very fun just knowing that, meeting new guys and, just getting another opportunity to play the game that I love, which is football. It's more than football. Me meeting guys that was there, starting their own brand, and getting to know a lot of guys from where they come from. And, guys have not got the opportunity to get where I was, which is the NFL. And you see guys work their tail all day in, day out, to stay active, to still try to get that shot. And I was one of them guys. So it was kind of fun.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely awesome. So with that, I'm gonna hop in. One of the big things, and Ben, I think I'm stepping on your toes here. I'm sorry about that, but
good.
One of the big things, one of the big differences with the FCF was the fans calling the plays. As a player, did you enjoy that? Did you hate it? What was that like?
I enjoyed it, honestly, just because, at the end of the day, I was always the type of guy that I used to always tell my coach, coach, whatever play you feel is best for the team. At the end of the day, I know my ability to run. I would just do what I have to do. If it's there, take it. If not, just use my God ability of talent of just running when it's not there, when the play breaks down. So it was very fun just knowing that you can't pick your own plays. The coach can't pick their plays, so you have to do what the fans want, and you have to do what the fans want to see, in which that was fun. A lot of the defenses that we was playing in the FCF, they was playing off. They wasn't giving us what we want. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to just force anything in there. I'm not just going to throw the ball in the air. So, I had to work on my decision-making, my timing, and things like that. So it helped me all over the board.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it was a kind of a big adjustment playing on that smaller field, more of an arena-style football. You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but how big and tough was that adjustment to make, going from a 100-yard field to 50 yards in the FCF?
It was kind of, I'll say it was kind of tough just knowing that, football is football, but just knowing that you got guys playing 10 yards off, 12 yards off, and I'll say you basically start with 40 yards. Basically, you're not playing the whole 50. So with them guys playing 10 yards off, so now you got to make your right decision of, is this guy going to break on the curl? Is he going to break on the dead with him just sitting flat-footed? So you got to read all that. You got to read the tendencies of what this defense is trying to do to you and what they're trying to get out of you. So at the end of the day, if it's not there, I just use my legs like, God gave me, and just do what I can do best.
You talk about using your legs, the man up. Everybody went for that 2-point man up all year. That ever frustrate you that you couldn't just take it into your own hands and run it in?
Nope. At the end of the day, it just shows that, when it comes down to one-on-ones, it's not just on the quarterback, it's on the receiver, the running back, the tight end, because at the end of the day, it's showing that them guys have to make separation in one-on-ones just to give the quarterback a window, and we both have to be basically on the same page.
One of the biggest aspects of the game that we love to talk about, our show is called The Big Dudes in the Trenches. I think all of us played offensive line at some point. So with the Fan Control Football League, it felt like, there was less of a focus on offensive lines, as you would see in traditional football leagues. Guys were moving teams every so often. How was that different for you? And maybe how important is that relationship with your center, with your offensive line?
It's very important, just knowing that, I told them guys, just like when I was in college, I used to tell my O-line, we all not the – I won't say we all not the best, but I'll say it's a team sport. And I used to tell them guys, whatever you guys do or however you guys block, just do something. Don't be lazy and just don't be out there just to be out there. At the end of the day, me as a quarterback and how I played the game of football, I tell my old linemen, just help me just make him go one way and I'll finish the rest. At the end of the day, that's basically just giving myself time in the pocket. If the DN knifes inside, then I know I have to drop back to the left a little bit to buy myself some time, and not to just make myself look good, but to make the old linemen look good too.
For sure, for sure.
Hey man, you've been all over the NFL world here, or not just the NFL, the football world. What are your plans for the future? Are you going to run it back with the FCF, or are you shooting for another shot out in the NFL?
Honestly, I'm shooting for another shot. Honestly, I felt like I didn't have a real legit shot, in the NFL. I was with the Cincinnati Bengals for that whole year and just never got my shot. And then after that, I left the Cincinnati Bengals and went to the Indianapolis Colts and got released from the Colts because lineman got hurt and I was on practice squad. So I was like the last guy that, was basically on the depth chart. I was on practice squad, and just to make room for another guy to come in, they had to release me because you got Marlon Mack, who was a starter. You got Hakeem Hines, who was the backup, who was, legit good. And then you had two backups behind them, which one had a rib injury and then the other one had an ACL injury. So if you was to cut them, you'll have to pay them a settlement. So at the end of the day, why cut them and pay them a settlement when they could have just cut me and, I was a practice squad guy.
So how was that transition as you went in the NFL? You were asked to play running back. How was that transition for you? Did you feel like you deserved a shot at quarterback? Is that what you're trying to get back into in the NFL?
Yes, I felt like I deserve a legit shot, just knowing that I had 42 records in college, and then
Right.
it's nothing you can say. It's nothing you can say bad about me because on the field, I did what I'm supposed to do. Off the field, you not getting no issues from me. You're not hearing nothing bad about me. I stay in the books. I just do whatever it takes to keep the chains moving. So I felt like I didn't get a legitimate shot at quarterback. And then when I did get to running back, it was I either have to go out here and make the best of it, or I either go out here and let these guys just beat up on me, in which I'm not that type of dude. I like to compete. I like to have fun. So, when I was in Cincinnati, it came to a point where in my mind, I had to tell myself personally, like, you have to do whatever it takes to be the best. If you want to be the best, you're going to do whatever it takes to be the best. So day in, day out, I worked my butt off. I worked my tail off. And I just felt like I didn't have a legitimate shot to be a 4-down back or a 3-down back or your best 3rd-down back, which I didn't get that shot. So at the end of the day, I was working, and that shot never came. And when it didn't come, I didn't stop working. I went to the XFL and did everything I could in that. We went 0-3, and it got frustrating from there.
Yeah,
see how.
I'm a Memphis alum. I was a big Memphis fan. Loved watching you play for USF, except for when you were playing Memphis. I definitely love seeing you back in Tampa playing for the Vipers. If if you make a practice squad or you're not signed to an active roster contract, the XFL is coming back. Where would you rather go? Would you rather go play 100-yard football again, or would you want to go back to the FCF?
Like I always say, wherever God takes me, whoever give me that opportunity, I'm always a guy. I'm always open. Just be real with me because I feel like in the XFL, the coaches that I had wasn't real to me. I felt like, they was telling me one thing and then other things was happening. And that's when it got frustrating. So when it comes down to me as a player, as a person, as a human being, I just want the real. You don't have to sugarcoat anything to me. If you want to say, hey, Quinn, I need you to play slot. I have no problem. Hey, Quinn, I want you to play running back. I have no problem. At the end of the day, in this world, you have to adapt to everything in life. And that's why I live my day. I live my life every day about a minute because it's always something you can learn new.
100%, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I grew up, I was kind of the same way through sports, playing wherever the coach needed me. It's tough to adjust to the different positions week in, week out. How are you able to keep the positions separated as you're going through the NFL? They had you at running back. Now you come back to these other spring leagues, they got you at quarterback. How is it to keep transitioning between the two positions?
Honestly, with me and my talent at quarterback, it wasn't hard. It was the physical part of it. I would say the playbook wise and learning the plays wasn't hard. I say the physical part of it because at the end of the day, as a quarterback, you don't lift as much, you don't hit as much, you barely bang your body, and then going into the NFL and being a running back, you bang your body basically every play. If you run the ball, you're gonna get hit. If it's a pass play, you might have to chip, you might have to stay in the block. It's something you're gonna bang your body every play. So it came to a point when I knew I was a full running back. I had to figure out ways to make myself better. So in a way of if it's a pass play, I know who can blitz and who can't blitz. Because my mindset was I'm a quarterback. I have to see this stuff. I have to know who can come and who can't come. So I picked up that easy. But the physical part was now you have to block guys that's 6'3" or 6'2", 250 pounds, 260 pounds rushing on a blitz. So now it comes to the physical part. Is you ready for that? So it came to the point where I just laid my body on the line each and every day in practice. It's going to be you or it's going to be them. And like I always say, I like to compete. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to let it be me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Bring it back to the FCF. I've been seeing a few guys say a few different things about stuff they miss from the FCF bubble. What was your favorite thing and least favorite thing about the FCF, playing the bubble, whatever?
The 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 things I miss, honestly, for one, you have to go with the Gatorade machine. You got to stay hydrated. You're gonna miss that because at the end of the day, nowhere I'll say in life you'll get that much Gatorade, that much electrolytes and stuff like that for free. Like nowhere. So for one, you're gonna miss that. Two, I'm just gonna miss the coaches and the players because I created a bond with a lot of them guys and just knowing them guys' story and where they came from. Not saying my life was totally messed up, but knowing where these guys coming from, some of these guys didn't grow up with a parent at all. Some of these guys, they work their tail off and just keep chasing it and just never got the opportunity. And the FCF was the best opportunity that they ever had. And no telling where that would lead them because at the time the FCF was going on, it really wasn't no football. So with them guys doing that, no telling if it would better their life or it would give them another opportunity in the FCF.
Yeah. Anything you disliked about the league?
What I disliked about the league was the incentives. They had that in the contract saying that you'll get certain things for certain things that you do. I'll say with the money wise, it was like some of the stuff was getting played with. They wasn't meeting up to their standards. You'll say that in the contract in the incentives, you get this amount of money if you do this and you do that. But then you don't get that. But then other guys are getting it 3 weeks later, which I'm not just speaking up for myself, but I'm speaking up for the other guys too, because it was guys that honestly did what they're supposed to do in that league, and it was just some things was just getting bypassed.
I know that can happen sometimes with some fledgling organizations. The FCF is certainly one of those. So hopefully they get that ironed out. I think next year, the FCF, I think they're coming back. They seem like a really strong foundation. They had some good viewership. But they also had this concept of power-ups, which was crazy out there. These power-ups, did you love them? Did you hate them?
With the league being a startup league and the refs just being randomly picked refs, I would say with the first year I didn't like it, but I would say I did like it because, for one, it get the game more intense with like the last 30 seconds, and if you have a power up, you go down and score. Like, say if you losing, you go down and score, and then you still down by 2. You can use your power up for, basically, they call it an offside kick. So it'll be 4th and 10, and you have to get the first down. If you don't get the first down, then the opposite team get the ball on like the 3-yard line, and it's easy for them to score. So when you using your power up, it's fun, but then it's scary, because if you don't get this now, this opposite team going to get it, and most likely they can get the ball with 1st and 3 and score a touchdown, and game is out of range.
Another thing that the FCF was really good at, in my opinion, was the ability to flex to more or less what the fans wanted, including the rules. What was it like, having a set of rules one week, and then between games, all of a sudden there's a new set of rules? What's it like to adjust to that?
It's very tough. Just knowing you're not set on one particular rule or one set of rules, because at the end of the day, you know that it's going to come to that rule you heard about last week. It might not happen this week, or you might not get it this week. You might not have a power up this week. You might have a power up for Wednesday. But then when game time comes, you may not get that power up. So you always have to. My thing was, I always go into the game just knowing that I don't want the ball first, because at the end of the day, I get the ball after the half. And me personally, I just try to take advantage of every opportunity that I get and scroll every drive that I get. So it'll help myself and the team.
So the rules weren't the only thing that changed. Teams were changing pretty much every week. The Beast, I thought, made a great move, locked you up as a franchise player after your week 1 performance. But you didn't always have the same receivers. So who was your favorite guy to pass to? And, that defense was changing up from week to week. Who was the guy you hated to see the most coming at you?
I wouldn't say I hated the guys, but I would say it came to the point where, like, it goes back to, you would never know what team you're on or what you're going against. So I'll say the last game, they set it up to where they wanted to make a show, but they put the best D-line and the best defense against me, like the best players in the FCF against me, which I knew it was going to be like that, because it's no way you have Slick Nick, which is one of the best elusive D tackles that was in the league. Then you got Monte, which was an NFL guy that was at the end. And then you have at nose tackle, which is Rump, one of the biggest guys that was in the FCF. So I'm going against them 3 guys, and knowing that I'm going to barely have time to move with me playing with a pulled hamstring, that's tough. But at the end of the day, in my mind, the only thing I was worrying about, this still going to show that I don't care who you put against me, I'm still going to put up points.
Absolutely, man.
I
And,
want to.
who was your favorite guy to pass to?
My favorite guy to pass to, honestly, was Troy Evans. Troy Evans and I'll say Salisbury. Them two, because they so elusive and so, I would say, so quick with their release off the line to the point where it gave me time to make quicker decisions. So I would say them two guys.
That's awesome. Hey, I want to kind of push this to the sidelines a little bit. What was it like having the same coach for 4 different teams? And did you love Coach Jenks' style this season?
Yes, I really did, because Coach Jinks, I'll say Coach Jinks' style of play and style of offense, you have to get the ball out fast. And that was his main thing. Just getting the ball out fast and on time. And I think that helped me a lot, because knowing when you're in the NFL, you have to take what the defense gives you. You can't force everything. You just have to play your cards and play what's dealt to you.
That's awesome, man. It was so awesome watching you play this season, and really awesome talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, you have any parting shots for us? Any final words of wisdom?
For one, I would like to say I appreciate you guys for even having me on here. Taking the time out y'all day and just wanting to talk to me and understand, my life and the football life that I'm living. But at the end of the day, I would say words and advice to you guys is just, every day just be thankful and take it one day at a time. Don't get frustrated. If you can't control it, that's not on your part. At the end of the day, you only can control what you can control, and just try to figure things out and make your next move your best move.
Absolutely.
That's just how I live my life. My next move will be my best move.
And where can people find you? Where should we be watching out for you next?
Hopefully, as of right now, I'm trying
Hopefully
to
the NFL, right?
get over to the CFL or the NFL.
All right.
I'm just waiting to see right now with my agent.
All right, man. I can't wait to see you back on the field. You are awesome to watch, awesome to talk to. Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, best of luck too, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, Quinton. Thank you.
You too, guys.